coming into this game 2 of this series. So I think that Curse, actually, they're the first pick, so
They're
Curse
first
can
pick,
actually just pick that up. And we've seen English play Shen in the past. So, you know, they kind of have that flexibility. They can just hold on to it.
So we will see where they decide to go from here. For a reminder for Game 1, though, the bans for Game 1, we saw an Evelynn, Zilean, Ezreal
Standard
ban.
bans.
Lee Sin, Rengar, Jace.
A lot of nerfed champions being banned
still. A lot of nerfed champions still being... It is day one. It is day one on a new patch. Just play it safe. Things haven't quite been discovered yet. But it's a safe option. It really is. So Rengar and Evelynn staying consistent there with those some of the bans coming in from game number 1. Considering like Curse.NA, they are in first pick. They have the option to try and take away that Shen, but alternately they could have the option to also ban him out. Everyone's already been banned. You could also just hold off on the Ezreal or Zilean ban, replace one of those with the Shen coming on in. But there's actually the Blitz ban and sticking with the Zilean ban.
Yeah, I mean, those are definitely strong bans in the mid lane. Assuming Zilean, he didn't really go for that DFG. So if they know that Extinct plays it, and again, Curse, you know, they did scrim some with M5. So yeah, I'm sure that Extinct has been picking that up a lot. It kind of fits his play style. So, you know, that's just a safe ban for them. They do, Curse actually bans out Blitzcrank, so doesn't want to deal with that. They might ban Ezreal here. If they don't want to deal with Ezreal and they know that they're going to want to pick either Shen or Jace in that top lane. But yeah.
Yet another nerf champion.
Yeah, but Skarner wasn't really hit that hard. What were the nerfs to Skarner?
The cooldown on his shield went up quite a bit by 4 seconds up, and if you flash away from his impale, it will no longer pull you all the way back.
Oh, really?
Really.
Oh, that's interesting. So
that's huge.
That's really a big change. I still think Skarner's going to be really strong. He provides so much mobility to, you know, counter jungle and whatnot. And the change to the shield, the cooldown really is for the movement speed, him being able to dip in and out. Like that movement speed's going to hurt him. But we'll see where they go with that. The Jace is banned, so this will probably be a Shen first pick. You know, there are a couple of options though, so they might decide to pick if they want to pick Ezreal or if they want to grab the Sona. But I think with the Shen being open, Curse is probably going to have to take it.
Yeah. So Lee Sin, Ezreal, Shen. All open.
God,
Orianna
Sin,
open.
That's scary.
Orianna open. Also, still,
yeah.
There are plenty of options, plenty of options here for Curse on first pick. They can also have the Sona still open.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Shen or the Lee Sin though.
Yeah, I can imagine. Probably more likely the Shen if anything else. We could also still see the Ori first pick here, but that was last pick for Curse. Alternate just decided to not grab it. There's the Ezreal though.
Yeah.
Still a good first pick. Still a good first pick.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going to have some people open, and right now, alternate, they kind of decided they're going to take.
They have to take Shen.
They're definitely going to take the Shen.
You guys let us have Shen again after what happened game number 1? Okay,
but
sure.
Now they have to decide: do they want to take the Lee Sin in the jungle? I don't remember if Kurt plays Lee Sin or if I've seen him play Lee Sin, but they go ahead with the Sona. So Sona is very strong in lane. I mean, that's definitely a strong champ, particularly since the Blitzcrank's out, and Blitzcrank's one of the champions that's really effective at dealing with Sona. So, you know, that's going to be really strong. They don't want to allow that Ezreal Sona bot lane. And we're going to get to see Ezreal, some of the changes, how that's going to affect his laning phase.
Yep. And also Sona for Curse.NA, game number 1, that was pretty much like their only line of defense against the super aggressive play coming from the Shen and the Olaf. It's like, well, hey, we're being dove again. Sona, you got your ult? Sure, cool. Let us live for like 3 more seconds before we get crushed. And they don't want Curse. They really don't want Curse to have that weapon against them.
Yeah, no, that is going to be a dangerous thing. So, yeah, we'll see what Curse is going to be able to do. They do go with that Nunu. You had talked about how there might be that Ezreal Nunu lane, and how, I mean, Nunu really is such a strong support right now, particularly with, you know, Sona already out, Blitzcrank. It's kind of where do you go from there? So it is going to be a strong pick. They go with the Aurelia as well. So they're happy with that Aurelia in that top lane, how it worked out for them. No, swapping last second for the Nunu. So getting Ahri once again. So, or actually getting it for this time. So they keep Ahri off of Pharrell and Lord. They were concerned, all right, Pharrell and Lord absolutely wrecked us with his Ahri last game. So they're going to have that.
There's the Olaf once again here for alternate, and could be grabbing the Corki up here too instead of going for the Graves. So this is looking, it's looking bad. Alternate's nearly getting the same exact team that they had last time, except with a little bit more oomph. Could also be actually go for the TF, which makes those ganks super duper dangerous. That is 2 globals. 2 globals on alternate right now.
And I think the scary thing, so the TF, I mean, it gives them that double global. They can be extremely aggressive. But the scary thing for alternate right now is that Curse is likely going to pick up that Lee Sin. You know, he has a couple. They have a couple of options. They might be running Nunu in the jungle, but Lee Sin works very well with Ahri and with Ezreal. It gives them that really mobile team that can kite in and out. And it's against a squishy team, so that'll work. But we'll see. It actually seems they might be going with the Shyvana. And Shyvana does work well against Graves because he's short range. You can dive in that backline. Same thing with TF. Shyvana's great against TF, diving into that backline and initiating on him. Because TF, if you don't get in his face, he becomes one of the strongest champions in the game in team fights because he has that poke and he also has... you know, a repetitive stun. It's a really short cooldown stun. But if you can get into his face, he's very squishy, and all of a sudden, you know, he's worthless because he can't do anything. So it really is a huge difference in TF's success rate depending on whether or not you can affect him in that back line. And so they will keep that Aurelia, but they have a much more mobile team this game. They have Shyvana out of the jungle. She has the movement speed to kind of be all around the map so they can try and combat that TF aggression, that Shen aggression that Alternate had used in the previous game. And they also have the Ahri, so taking the Ahri away from them. And Ahri does work very well in that lane against TF. Ahri's considered a counter to TF usually.
And there's also one more thing, too, that's actually affected TF's winning rate quite a bit lately. The remodel. Everyone's like, oh, TF has a new model. I really want to play with him. Oh, by the way, I've never played TF before. I just wanted to see him dance.
I'm sure Pharrell Lord's played TF.
I'm sure he's played. I'm sure he's played TF some though.
His three top champions are TF, Ahri, and Orianna. Not in that order. Ahri, it's first, I think, and that's those are like the champions he plays in solo queue all the time, and we've seen him play him competitively.
But there's been a lot of tweets from players lately. It's like, guys, there's so many bad TFs out there. It's like we get it. He has a neat dance. Leave it alone.
Well, I love TF.
Oh, I do. TF's great. TF's great.
He was a great champion. He still is a great champion.
Oh, yeah.
They said they're going to try and remake him, and I'm a little bit... oh, no, wait. That's right. I was confused. I heard the Twisted Treeline remake a couple of weeks ago, and I thought they said Twisted Fate. But yeah, so TF's definitely a strong champion. We'll see how they go with that. They do grab Cho'Gath in that jungle, so you know he's going to provide them with some of that mobility, some of that jungling clearing speed to try and counter out Shyvana some.
Yep. So the global presence here, the global essence from Alternate is now multiplied times 2 here, with the TF and the Shen working in conjunction with each other. So TF can just stray away from mid just a little bit, ult into either lane, with the Shen not too far behind, and that's a very dangerous prospect. It's a problem already when you're in like the middle of a team fight and TF just ults right behind you. And Matt, you have 2 champs there. That is a perfect wall. You are not leaving. You are not getting out of there. But
you have to question yourself. All right.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
But there are a decent amount of escapes on Curse though.
Right.
You got the shift from Ezreal. You got the ultimate from Ahri. You also got Dragon Form coming in from Shyvana. So there are options. There are definitely some options. You also got the Nunu ult, which is fantastic when you have everyone trying to converge on. He's like, well, if you want to get on us, if you want to engage this team fight, you will be slowed, and you could be taking quite a bit of damage.
And that was literally exactly what I was about to say, is the fact that what lane is TF going to be ganking? A lot of times, the previous game, they put a lot of pressure on that bottom lane, but they have high mobility with Nunu, and Ezreal is going to be able to escape every single time. Like, it's going to be almost impossible for them to take down Ezreal. Nunu is really going to be the one that's vulnerable, but it's still going to be a tough lane for them to gank. Aurelia top. They could actually gank Aurelia a couple of times to try and snowball that lane. That wouldn't be a bad idea, but she's generally pretty tanky, so it's going to be tough for them to combo. But it's really about coordinating Pharrell and Lord with Kurt. So they want to have Pharrell and Lord come in with the TF gank, get the stun to set up the rupture from Kurt, and if they can coordinate that gank pretty or effectively enough, then that'll allow them to take an early advantage over Curse. Curse, on the other hand, they have a lot of mobility on their team. They want to take that map control this game. So that's what Shyvana's for. Shyvana did run exhaust, so that means that she's probably looking for some early ganks, and we'll see where she's going to go. I think mid lane is definitely a key spot for her, because Ahri, particularly once Ahri hits 6, could beat up on TF. You could just dive TF, pick up some kills. So we'll see what I'm So Fresh is going to do, and it's actually a different sub. So Herkbot, didn't quite cut it with the Cho'Gath.
No, he didn't.
Or maybe he had to go or something, but I'm So Fresh from Eclipsia going to be subbing in for them as Shyvana this game.
Yep. I could be seeing Alternate actually operate a little bit more reactionary this game. It's like, well, okay, all 3 of your lanes, all 3 of your lanes got some pretty good escapes. So how about this? We'll wait for Shyvana to commit. Once they get into loading screen, they're going to realize that she doesn't have flash. And with that could be quite a bit of mayhem. It's like, just go and just wait for the counter ganks, and then you can snowball from there.
and that it's when they get out of position. So they've
Yeah.
already, if they've pulled themselves
committed.
out of position, then their survivability won't help them as much. Yeah, you turn it around on them. You have Shen teleport in. That's going to be dangerous. I mean, Curse, it's going to be tough for them to force ganks, knowing that Shen and TF are both going to be able to come in. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. That's going to be kind of interesting. Shyvana, versus Cho'Gath, it really is just an even thing. Neither of them are going to be looking to hit each other that much. It really is, for both of them, going to be more reactionary play. See where the other is, try and counter invade, or try and counter initiate.
Yep. And it's good to see. It's good to see Curse.NA running that Nunu support. It's something they've done quite a bit in the past. If you remember, last time we saw them during qualifiers, they ran Nunu Ashe quite a bit, to quite a bit of success, actually. There was a certain point where it just stopped working.
I think that was back when it was the old Curse, though.
It was the old Curse. It was the old Curse, but still the coordination was there, and the Ashe arrows were there.
Yeah.
And you need the rest of your team there to help coordinate when those arrows did come in. But it's interesting, because like Nunu does kind of fit Curse's play style in the support role.
Yep, so we'll see what they're going to do with this. We are into the game, and it'll be underway shortly. But I don't know. It really is down to Curse to take back that map control from the previous game. Alternate really just pulled so far ahead. Pax TF on Pharrell and Lord. What a stud! I don't know how high is that skin up on eBay right now. Is it like 300?
I think it actually dipped on down. I think it's around like 100, 150.
Oh, okay.
Because I know like Pax Jax went down a little bit. He's at like about $50 now. But we're talking about skins on eBay. Damn. So we talk about skins, though. Striker Ezreal, best Ezreal skin ever. I keep saying it. No pulse fire for me. I want Striker Ezreal.
Yeah, it's a decent skin. I mean, go World Cup.
Go World Cup. It's almost come back around again.
That's true. We might be able to
qualifiers
get
still
get another. I don't know, some sort of World Cup skin in another couple of years. But we'll see where they're going to go with this. I don't know, it's going to be an interesting thing for both of these teams. I think bot lane should be in Alternate's favor. I don't think that Ezreal is going to have enough of a laning presence anymore without that attack speed slow. So I don't know that they're going to duel that much, but Graves can really just sit behind the minions and not have to worry about Ezreal at all. So it used to be that Ezreal would be able to hit you from behind the minions and just get those auto attacks in. But we'll see how Creaton's going to do his Ezreal, if he's going to change to Mystic Shot or if he's going to still level up his W first, like everyone's been doing. But we'll see. I think it's primarily going to be a push lane. And Graves and Sona, they have the advantage in the push there. They can push them into the tower. There might even be a lane swap.
I'm so fresh, jumping right into that bush. And Pharrell Lord actually goes in anyway. A huge mistake, huge misstep, actually burning that flash very early on. I'm not quite sure why he went and face checked that, knowing.
Well, he saw that he didn't know that two members were in the brush, and he saw that there were some members mid. So he thought to himself, "Oh, there's guys mid. Well, they haven't moved in the brush yet. I'll move over there himself." But he nearly went down. The charm, if it had hit, he was definitely down, and that was very close.
Very risky. Extremely risky. And the flash is going to be down for quite a while, too. So that is another cue for I'm So Fresh. It's like, well, you know what, mid, there is no flash. I can be super aggressive there. I can do my best to try and shut down Pharrell Lord very early.
That was the lane that we expected them to be aggressive in.
Yep.
I think that Alternate's going for a lane swap, though. I think they're sending Graves top. He's at least making his way up there. It might just be for the meantime. But it seems like that's the case. And Shen, he's waiting for that 4th health pot. So I believe they are doing the swap. So the 4th health pot is going to help him. And we'll see whether or not Ezreal and Nunu have enough harass now, to take him down. I think Shen should be tanky enough that he's going to be okay. He's going to fall a little bit behind on farm, but not nearly as much as Aurelia. And particularly since Engish, he's going to have a little bit golden experience advantage from taking the race, but he's going to take some damage, which means that he's going to be even more vulnerable coming into that lane in the beginning.
He's pulling the Blue Wraith all the way back just in case, and there you go, quick kill. So it's going to be a nice experience lead for the Aurelia Charm going down onto the red buff. I'm So Fresh going to be picking that up first. We may see him actually hit mid lane first. After he gets it, Super A is also just a few more smacks from Nunu just to help him out. And that is indeed the lane swap coming in from Alternate. So you got Cotnex coming down bot. You got Graves and Sono looking to 2v1 the Aurelia in top. I'm So Fresh, where are you going next? Are you actually going to go for your blue buff? Do you have, does have the Smite actually still up, so Smiteless Red, going to be grabbing the blue real quick, wants to get that quick level 3.
Yeah, and he might actually be able to come up top. I think at the very least, he's going to want to come up top and just keep an eye on if Cho's coming. But you see already, Leo from Korea with, you know, really great ward coverage early on. So he's going to be able to keep an eye on Shyvana. But Shyvana might want to sit in the lane for a little bit, because a lot of times when you have these lane swaps and the jungler goes for a quick double buff, and they saw that Kerp, you know, was doing that path. He skipped over the Wraiths here. So, you know, because they're going for that quick, he's going for that quick double buff, a lot of times you go for a quick gank up top to try and snowball the lane. I'm so fresh. He actually might be able to pick that up. That was as close as it can be. Leo from Korea down almost, and Kerp coming in, trying to turn it around.
The Rupture just barely going to hit I'm So Fresh, but the thing is, though, can he escape? He's got that burnout. He wants that speed. If he can get out of it, it would be great. You get the sounds coming from Cho. Anguish going to be popped up this time. Middlex wants a little bit more damage, but will not get that kill. But quite a bit of harass down on the Curse. They got to rethink. Can Aurelia actually stay up there for that much longer if Cho's going to be being this aggressive? He's actually going on around. Cho may actually be going around through the top Tribrush. There is the Rupture once again into the Tribrush. Going to keep up I'm So Fresh. He will have to back off, and Frelnord chasing Extinct out of lane through the side.
And CottonX already getting kind of low in that bottom lane. He had to actually use his teleport to get back into the lane because he was about to miss some massive lane XP. And Kerp is coming up for that top gank. That's very common with that lane swap. He's going to be tanky enough. The tower was actually buffed a little bit, but not quite able to get him in time. Anguish, he does have to flash, but it's successful because they're able to zone him off of these minions now. He is going to be able to come back in, but I'm surprised. Actually, usually when you see that kind of gank, the jungler is just going to sit right here on the bottom edge of the turret and not allow the top lane to get in. And they'll just completely zone them for a full level advantage in Golden Experience. So I'm a little bit surprised that Kerp didn't do that, and he just allowed Anguish to come back into that lane.
We may see him come back, though. We may see Graves and Sona try and take down that tower pretty quickly, because you do have the attack speed steroid on the Graves, and he also got damage increase from Sona. So we may see top tier 1 go down pretty quick, and Aurelia cannot stay, cannot defend against it. Gonna get chunked out otherwise. Has to leave. Gonna be getting that Doran shield. We saw the build on Aurelia last time, too, to just try and stay in lane for a little while longer, at the very least until you hit 6 and you get that ultimate and get that wave clear.
Yeah, but Shyvana coming down bot. Cho's already sitting up here. Shyvana just going to counter jungle a little bit, but we'll see if they actually decide to dive CottonX once Shyvana comes back down. Cho's going to be ready for it, though. And actually the taunt onto Creatine, the Rupture as well. He's underneath the turret. He's taking the tower shots. He's very close to going down. Kerp's going to back off, but I'm So Fresh is here to turn this around, so they're going to get out. Even exchange, but it's actually going to allow CottonX to come back into that lane.
Wonderful timing on that Rupture, and taking all of those tower shots. Nearly went down on that, but good knowledge, good awareness, and good positioning from I'm So Fresh. He was there doing that counter jungle. He was actually around to provide some of that support. Both of our AP mids getting relatively low in mana, but that's one of the best things about TEF. He's got that blue card. He's going to be having that mana back pretty soon. Extinct, though, will not be as lucky. We'll have to wait around either for the blue buff, or we'll have to back pretty soon to just refill.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be an advantage for Frelnord early on, but once there's the blue, it's going to be dangerous. And they are coming in for this. The flash Extinct misses the charm. Doesn't matter. I don't know that he has an escape route. He flashes, but he can't get over the wall. So Anguish has him cut off. If he can get his team down here, he could maybe help out.
To get to Leo.
I think Sona's going to be able to give him the movement speed. He has enough movement speed already. He has those masteries, so he's barely able to get out of there.
That was very close. That was incredibly close. But that's how Curse. You see, they're really desperate. They are really desperate to get early kills on the Frelnord to try and keep him behind before, at the very least, until he hits 6. It's like, well, we need to keep him down. We need to delay the global presence for both him and the jungler as much as possible. And Creatine actually entering back top lane without the support. Does not have the blood bow until now, and he's actually taking quite a bit of damage because it is ignited. Actually going to be going down to about 100 health. Sona manning on up, trying to get that kill, but is ignited. Super Ace with the auto attacks. First blood going to the support Nunu. And he also got I'm So Fresh down bot lane and was actually able to get a kill down on the Metal X even. Yeah,
right here he was able to come in from the side and take out Graves there. But really impressive play. Kerp is in a dangerous spot as well. He's going to be forced out. But TF actually coming up top. Creatine's not going to be able to help him out, so they might be able to get this. I don't know that they have enough damage, though. And now Frelnord, he's in a dangerous spot. He does throw off the Ignite onto I'm So Fresh, but he's right in the middle of their team, and they're going to be able to chase him down. Can he pick up Creatine? That's the question, but he cannot. But Shen's coming. He gets it with the Vorpal Blade. Well, how much can he do? How much can CottonX get here?
Well, Kerp, though, he does have, he's pretty low on mana, but he still can get at least one good Rupture and keep Super Ace behind. Will he, he does not have the flash. He can't actually get over through the Baron Pit, and plays plenty of time with the pop-up to get the kill for the Shen.
Yeah, and Extinct actually forced to use his ultimate as well to get out of there. So that's going to be a nice advantage for Alternate for a little bit. They're still chasing after him. He doesn't have any charges left. Actually, Shen, he could hit this taunt over the wall. I think he's going to get it.
Nice
he barely misses Extinct there. He jukes back a little bit, but he's still going to go down. The charm hits. He gets the smoke. The Vorpal Blade, one more. He actually flashes in, gets the kill. And Alternate, they just continue to rack up those kills, but there's still a minor gold lead for Curse, and a lot of it has to do with how far ahead Aurelia is over Shen, because Shen really was not having a good time in that bot lane, and also that bot turret going down.
That bot turret is down, and pretty much is nearly the entire gold lead for Curse right now. It's about 100 gold just purely from farm and the first blood and all things like that. But yeah, it's the one tower so far, which is putting them in the lead. If Alternate can just push on in, try and sneak out a tower either in top or in bot, that lead will just be completely negated. But there's still still a little bit of time for that. Anguish, though, coming on, it does get the quick slow on the Leo from Korea, but is the damage going to be sufficient? Here comes the Shen ult just for the protection. And the Aurelia knows, hey, the Shen's coming. I need to back off.
Yeah, I'm So Fresh is level 6, though. They know that Sona's low, so they might be able to go in for this blue steal. He's at least going to peek up in there. He doesn't have a ward, so he's not going to be able to get vision of this brush if they pull it in, but he's going in. He's diving for it. He wants to get this kill or at least steal the buff. Kerp is able to take it, but Cotton-X comes in from the side with the taunt.
Cotton-X still looking, and wow, you got I'm So Fresh barely actually getting the dragon form over the wall for that escape. Throne Lord's got that gold card. He wants a stun, but it will expire before he actually gets anything. And Greeton this entire time has been top lane farming like a boss, looking to take out another tower, get some global gold for Curse, but you do have Alternate. Everyone's been pushed back. That is a free dragon for them. Super Rays getting a little bit curious, same thing with Anguish, but the gold coward keeping Aurelia behind. The taunt will not follow up. You got Extinct throwing down some damage while everyone is chasing the Aurelia away. The Ignite is still down, but there's TF with the ultimate. Looking for the damage, does get it, but can he actually escape? He's still ignited. Extinct with plenty of burst, does not get the charm. Man. But Super Rays, if he can get the snowball, that will be more than enough, but he does get the Ignite and will get the kill credit for that. Extinct in a lot of trouble, though.
Trouble's kind of a, I don't know, rough word for it, because he's going to go down. Medlex is going to be able to pick up that kill.
Trouble's a relative term.
But in the meantime, Creaton, he's been pushing down the top. Cotton-X is able to come up. He has the teleports. He's able to shut that down a little bit. And Curse, this is kind of what we wanted to see from Curse.
Yes.
You know, they needed to match Alternate's aggression, try some aggressive counter jungling and grouping as a team to try and not fall behind early. And they actually pulled ahead a little bit. They have a nice little gold lead.
Right.
The big concern for Curse, though, is that last fight turned against them. Or Aurelia in particular is falling behind, and Shen, despite the farm advantage for Aurelia, he has the Heart of Gold and he was able to pick up a couple of kills there, which means that he's actually going to be fine. Shen, he doesn't need to get that many items, he just needs to be tanky. And if Aurelia isn't tanky enough to dive onto TF, if they can kite Aurelia, then Alternate should be able to win those fights. So by Aurelia leaving lane and trying to be aggressive with the team, Aurelia is falling behind on farm, and Aurelia really needs that farm in order to be even mildly successful in the mid game.
And the farm that would normally be going to Aurelia is actually being stacked up on top of Ezreal, so Creaton's actually getting all of that gold and all of that experience. And you see the farm difference there. He's actually nearly doubled up Graves at this point because he's had essentially an open lane all to himself for the past few minutes. But again,
Graves has the kills.
Graves
Who has the kills for Curse? It's Nunu. 3 kills on the support is never ideal.
And also the gold lead here on Curse. The difference is nearly purely just those 2 tower kills they have, and there's a limit on how many towers can be on a map. You can't be pushing those forever, and eventually they're going to run out.
Yeah, but Alternate, they're in a position here. They're going to be able to take down this bot turret. And it seems Ahri's actually coming down as well. They do spot out Ahri, so they should know that they don't want to engage this. Anguish, he's actually forcing it, though. It looks like he wants to get an engage. He does have another Blade Surge, and he is going to force a fight. The Ezreal ult coming down is not going to hit anyone, but Extinct trying to catch up, seeing if he can grab any of them. They're really close to picking off Kerp, but the Rupture, he's actually barely able to get himself back.
Kerp was juking that charm earlier, but the Sona ult going to help out with a little bit of damage on top of the Graves ult, and you got Pings going down. Pings getting aggressive. Throne Lord is down by Port-In, and there's a global ult coming from Shen to help on out, but TF does go down pretty quick. It's just a matter of, can you get anything? Can you avenge the death? Ignite down Anguish. Credit to the Sona, and then I'm So Fresh left behind, and the Rupture and the smoke screen will fall there. So that is 1 for 3. Alternate coming up on the top of that one, while Creaton's off doing his own thing in top lane, now looking to take out that tier 2, but still is going to be a net. Well, you're going to take out the towers. It's going to be a tier 1 for a tier 2, so gold-wise, it's going to be an even exchange there. But as a tier 2 going to be down in top lane, they can just keep on pushing that. You can keep pressuring that advantage.
Yeah, and it was a 3-0 exchange for alternates, so they were able to kite very effectively, and then TF actually porting into the team. It was a suicide mission, but he was able to set up the rest of his team to turn around, pick up a couple of kills there, so it was a really nice play on their part. But the concern, like you had mentioned earlier, is that Ezreal is vastly ahead of Graves as far as farm, just pure CS. Graves, they're actually pretty even, so Graves is just slightly behind because Graves was able to pick up a couple of kills. But if that kind of continues and Graves isn't getting any more kills and Ezreal's just continuing to farm and push, that could really hurt Alternate come this mid, a little bit later in the game.
But if Alternate can completely wipe out Curse in one very convincing team fight, you get those globals back into action, and they're working their way up. Frolord is actually almost back up, but Cotton-X, his ultimate has a little bit of a longer cooldown. You get that combo, you manage to take out all 4 members of Curse that are defending. You can actually push on even further. You can get a tier 2 in bot. You may even be able to push on to a tier 3, or even if the positioning is right, you can even get a Baron off of that once the game starts dragging on, once you start getting into mid game.
Yeah, and right now, Curse, they're pressuring down the mid lane, so they want to take that. They should be able to poke in a little bit. Aurelia's coming around the backside. Aurelia might actually force this behind this turret.
Anguish coming in from the side. There is the Equilibrium strike down the Metal X, and he is chunked out huge and dies before he can even get a shot off. Leo still wants to be aggressive, though, throwing down some of that Q-Rash, but Extinct dashing back and forth is stunned by the yellow card. You got Rupture popping him up once again, and there is Dragon Form right into the middle of the team. Not a whole lot there. There is the screen, but here comes Cotton-X with the taunt down onto the Ezreal. Sona ult gonna completely whiff, but that is a Shyvana down onto the side. Frolord still looking for damage. Just give me another gold card, give me another stun, something. But I think both teams are okay with the position they got there so far, 1 for 1.
But you see, they're not able to get into the backline on Pharrell and Lord, and the only reason that Alternate's not completely turning around these fights for win is because Pharrell and Lord's running out of mana. Cotton-X, he's actually got him the Rupture on Creatine as well. He has to get out of there. He's really close to going down. Super Ace with the Nunu ult, they're going to be able to take him down. Creatine's very close as well, gets the flash, so he's barely able to back off, but Super Ace will likely drop with the stun. Kerp, I think he has enough damage. He has that red buff, does pick up the kill.
I think Kerp was expecting Ezreal to go down a little bit quicker, but he did still have the heal, was able to get out of there and have survived the feast. Leo from Korea got very low in that too, but
yeah, the Ezreal almost picked him off.
Almost.
He was trying to grab him off the backside. But you see in these exchanges, Pharrell Lord's running out of mana. And if if he has enough mana to keep on spamming those stuns and those wild cards, those long fights really benefit TF. He can easily win those long exchanges. So they need to find a way to take him down. And very importantly, control this blue. And that's what I'm So Fresh is trying to do right now.
Gonna be getting that blue steal, but there we see attempt. Kerp is coming on in. He's actually down half. Here comes the Shen ult. They want to get another kill here, but there's Anguish there for the interference. They do have the ward there in the bush. They will see him, and it's like, hey, we need to be a little bit more careful. Maybe we just might want to consider letting them have the blue. Everyone get here quick. We got to defend this Metal X now here, and recognizing he needs to regen, he needs some health. Kerp goes all the way back to base, buys himself a chain vest too. That is going to help immensely coming up next.
Yeah, and Curse, they are actually going to be able to move in and take this. Shen's here. It seems the rest of the team's here as well. TF, he actually could pour it in, so they're really close to doing that. If Alternate can just hold off for a little bit, they really need to control that blue for TF. But Curse, they back off, they grab that dragon, but it is a 5v4. Metal X, he's not here yet, so they're missing their AD.
They need to just kill time for him to actually make his way back onto the blue. And Kerp out in front. He is a little bit tankier now with that chain vest. He can take a few more shots to the face. And Metal X is actually not, he decided to leave. You know, everyone's dispersing already. Was like, well, I guess I'm just going to go back up and try and farm a little bit.
I'm So Fresh with the good steal on the blue. He was able to peek up. They weren't able to pull it into the brush, so he stole that, and that was a key little victory for Curse. I mean, that really is going to help them against TF.
Kerp going to be grabbing that red orb, at the very least going to get warded by I'm So Fresh. He's like, damn, just stop warding my stuff. I just want to take my buffs in peace. Why will you not let me do so? But Kerp, he's doing the right play, though. He's getting plenty of ward coverage as they do decide to come in for the steal. They will be able to see them. But knowing that there's not going to be a whole lot of opportunity that I'm So Fresh does decide to back off, double on back, and help pass their own blue off over to Ari. Shen now down bot lane. Cotton-X still has quite a bit of time for the cooldown on the ult. He's not quite 11 yet, but once he does, it's going to be a significantly shorter cooldown on that. But his teleport is still up, so he can still join those fights. For Lord, also not quite 11 either. Just waiting for everyone to get those level 2s and those ults, and then things really start to get volatile.
Yeah, but at this point in the game, last game, Curse was down like 8k gold.
Yes.
So, you know, for them to be slightly ahead, you know, that's just huge. Ezreal, you know, he's a little bit behind Graves, but not really significantly. Both of them are doing pretty well for themselves. So we'll kind of see what happens there. You know, like you said, the concern for Curse is going to be that they can deal with the split pushing and the engages, and then in particular, you know, being able to shut down the TF. So a lot of that's going to come onto Ahri, and losing that burst damage on Ahri is going to be really tough. I mean, she won't be able to dive in just instantly DFG and kill TF and take down that one target like she likes to.
Yep. But Ferelnlord did finish off that Lich Bane, so from here on out, it's just going to be huge damage coming in from those cards. He just built straight up AP. You can also look to upgrade his boots too, and get a little bit more of that magic pen.
A lot of that was because he wanted the mobility that it gives him, so he gets the movement speed, so that allows him to kite in and out of fights a little bit more effectively, not have to worry about, you know, being threatened all the time.
MetalX looking to defend, but one shot from Ezreal will be more enough to take down that tower. But the yellow card going down onto Ezreal. They want that kill. Ferelnlord will not be able to escape. He is not so lucky. Ignite and some pressure from the Dragon Lady will be able to take him out. MetalX heals being forced out. They have to stay in this fight. MetalX still staying alive there on the back line. Gonna help get that kill down to Anguish, and Krip getting credit on that one. Very well done. Great positioning by MetalX.
Yeah, and they were able to get Ferelnlord instantly, the Shyvana-Aurelia combo, but it didn't matter because of how much effort it took. And I honestly, I thought they were going to be able to take down Graves, but
I thought so too.
You know, they were able to protect him. They were able to get off a couple of taunts and whatnot from Cotton-X, and just, you know, allow him to back off. So that's huge. They need to be able to take down both of them. And it's those small fights. Extinct wasn't there. Kerp getting kind of low. Extinct actually might, go back in for this. He's diving in. Can't quite grab Kerp, so it seems like he's going to be able to get away. The TF ult actually coming in to try and get it. Extinct's in a really dangerous spot now.
TF coming in right on the back of the line. He knows Extinct, he knows Ahri doesn't have any more charges left. Going, trying for the charm, trying for a little bit more damage, but Cotton-X will just barely live. Ezreal ult is not up. I wish he had it, but there is the Shen taunt coming on in. Double kill for Cotton-X, wonderfully well coordinated, and still very low health. They need to get out of there soon.
Yeah, Ezreal used it at the beginning of the fight, trying to get them when they were low. Wasn't quite able to pick them up.
Kerp,
Shyvana,
get out of there.
I think he's going to be able to get him. He has enough speed. Arcane Shift from Ezreal. At the very least, Ezreal is going to take him down. But Kerp in a really dangerous spot. Yeah, there's no hope for escape. So in the meantime, let's take a look somewhere else on the map. There he goes.
Yeah,
pick up that kill.
Let's avoid the gruesome scene for the children.
Graves able to take that top turret, able to push down a little bit. Really effective play from Alternate once again. And Ferelnlord coming down once Ahri's charms and once everything was down. Oh no! Getting caught out as he's trying to recall. So Creatine with a nice job there. I'm surprised that he was able to spot him out. Like, he didn't have vision from anything. He just kind of, you know, I guess guessed where TF might be, or I guess he was heading up there himself.
I don't think he was
at the end.
Quite fully out of vision in the lane.
Well, there was no minions or anything around there to give him vision.
Strange. Cotton-X, though, coming in with the taunt down on Greedy, and he's getting some few shots down on it to Leo from Korea as he's heading out behind tower. You got the Phage proc 2 coming, keeping him slowed. That Trinity Force is finished on Ezreal, so it's still quite a bit of damage. Trinity on Aurelia, too. It's quite a bit of damage. And we may, Shen's got already the Phage. He may actually end up building into one later on in the game also. But you also got a little bit more mobility onto TF here. Ferelnlord actually going for the Move 3 boots. In addition to the movement speed boost you also get from the Lich Bane, and he's also got a nice, he's got the wand there for a little bit extra AP damage.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, honestly, I can probably put on, you know, one hand the number of times I've seen the movement 3 boots, but you know, it really, he needs that mobility. He needs to be able to escape, and he knows it. You know, the last fight, he went down pretty quickly. It's going to allow him to kite very, very effectively. If he can stay alive, he knows that that's going to be a fight that they can win, just because of how strong TF is, you know, the longer he stays alive.
Yeah.
So that's a really interesting decision. It reduces some of his damage, but, you know, he doesn't really need the spell pen boots. That's going to be nice for him, but he's way out of position. They're going to catch him.
Ferelnlord, get the hell out of there. He's in a lot of trouble, getting caught out. There's the Shen ult, but he will die before Shen ever comes into play. Sona caught out. Leo will be able to escape. The ultimate actually not going to be hitting the Ahri, but does somehow get back to the tier 3 to hold on to that Oracle's. Kerp, you saw what just happened. Don't be walking around like that.
Yeah, and I want to point out we didn't really go in this earlier because there were lane swaps, but Creatine, he did actually go for the Mystic Shot ahead of the Essence Flux, but he has both of them now, so he has both of them maxed, you know, as the second ability. So, you know, still gets a lot of that damage, but not using it for the lane harass quite as much. Metalex, I think he's going to go down. The Ignite is going to be enough. Anguish, one more attack, should be able to take him down.
There you go.
So they pick that up. Kerp as well is in a dangerous spot. Curse just really quickly turned this whole thing around.
But the gold is still even for now, but with the towers going to be falling down after that, Curse is going to be able to carve out a very nice lead, but you do also have Cotnex down. Was alone in top lane. He was pushing that wave out, recognizing, okay, tier 3s are being pressed in. I need to get back home. This is starting to look a little bit bad. Lord is back up. He does have the ultimate, but look how much damage he's taking just to get one gold card in. That's troubling.
Yeah, no, he died almost immediately. Curse is, you know, pushing really well into alternate space. They have the mid turret, the bot one's almost down as well. And so really quickly, like, it just completely turned against alternate. Curse has been able to, you know, put on a lot of pressure. The early pushes, you know, help them some, but really TF's just too squishy. TF just dies almost instantly, and Curse has the team to engage on him. So TF was able to do some interesting things early on, but that was really, you know, what this game came down to was, can TF stay alive? The answer is no. He dies way too quickly. They're going to be able to take this dragon as well. Super A is using the ultimate. I don't even know if the dragon was actually in range of the ultimate. I think it was, but I'm not quite sure. But, you know, they get it anyway. And, I don't know, they have a nice gold lead built. So 3K gold lead. This is, I mean, if Alternate's going to make their move, this is where it needs to be. They need to start picking people off, start having more organized fights. They keep on allowing Curse to fight them in small, like 2v2s, 3v2s. And, you know, Alternate really needs a large team fight to succeed. But Curse, they're in a great situation to turn this around, push it to a game 3.
Yep. There is, I think there's sufficient damage, though, on Alternate. And you got the Lich Bane on TF. You also got DXP Steroid on Graves, also Feast coming on in. If given the opportunity, Alternate, there's a possibility for a Baron sneak. There's actually not a whole lot of ward coverage over around the Baron, especially, you know, nothing from Curse. You finally actually have Anguish. He's going to be putting down a ward in front of that Baron pit. No, not quite yet, actually. You got to put it on the top Shrine Brush at the very least.
Yeah, so, I mean, they can't get the ward coverage. They do have one in the Baron, so that'll help keep them out.
Yep.
There is an Oracle's on I'm So Fresh, so he's going to be able to, you know, clear that out for them. But Frelon Lord has the vision, so, I mean, he can get them vision as well.
Yeah.
They're in a tough spot, though. If they allow Curse to get that Baron, then Curse should be able to push in for a win. And they really need to just be very careful. I mean, Frelon Lord probably needs to come into the fights a little bit later, try and make Extinct burn his abilities before he comes in.
And Realm Lord face checking that bush a little bit, going to last a little bit longer than they did actually in the first attack, in the first face check during the level 1, but this time at the very least, and stay alive for Shen to actually come on into this fight. Meanwhile, Extinct dealing with everyone. The True Shot Barrage gonna be more than enough to take out that Cho. Sona going down immediately. That is 3 quick kills following up the face check from Pharrell Lord, and that's enough. That's all Curse needed to just push on in. That is 1 inhibitor down. They can take down a bot tier 3. That one face check may have just ended this game.
Yeah, it actually would have been a Nexus, except that the minions weren't pushed up, so they're not going to be able to tank the Nexus turrets, but they are going to get the inhibitors, and it is likely going to lead to a victory. Anguish, you know, just, I don't know, it's kind of surprising to see Ferelnor just walk in the bush like that.
Yeah.
Creatine almost getting out of there. He does get his Arcane Shift off to try and survive, but they need to back off. This is Alternate's actually a great opportunity for them to turn this around. They need to pick up a couple of kills here, and they need to be able to force an objective off of it.
Just could not get the stun onto anyone. Ferelnor's gold card does expire, but he got plenty of pressure down there in top lane, and Madalex melting immediately underneath the Nexus turret. Super Ace has no choice. He needs to flash out of the fight. Meanwhile, top tier 3 does go down. You got Connex with the taunt, be able to take out the Nunu now, 1v1ing Cretin off on the side. You also got Ari with plenty of damage, trying to get the kill onto Kerp. He was ignited for a second. There is the ultimate. Needs to get away from the crowd, looking for more damage with the orb. You got Cretin. He's very safe there with I'm So Fresh running interference. Kerp needs to get back. Pharrell Lord, he knows he's squishy, but if he can get one stun, something, anything, can he get the kill onto Anguish? No, just there. Finally, Biz Age will get it. Kerp with the kill there. Leo from Korea getting very low, needs to run back to the fountain just to heal up. But Cretin looking to clean up everything. And Mystic True Shot Barrage getting the kill onto the Cho once again. The minions are now pushing on into the base. It's only a very, well, was a weak Sona. Now she's dead. Metalex does force out the rest of Curse from base, but their base is now in shambles. Alternate has now lost all of their inhibitors just on that one push.
Yeah, with the 3 inhibitors down, you know that's going to be a GG. I mean, Aurelia was able to dive into TF and Metalex in particular, like taking down TF and Graves. Another kill, Extinct just running up. Okay, so he goes down. But I mean, it's the diving potential, and that Aurelia was able to get into that back line. That was the big question for Curse the entire game. But you know, Alternate wasn't able to protect their back line, and as a result, they quickly lost every fight because they have such squishy champions, and those are the weaknesses of Graves and TF. But we'll see. I mean, this is, you know, Curse should be able to grab the Baron or even just push up for the Nexus, and then very quickly win this and send it into a game 3.
For now, though, Curse, they are playing it safe. They all did back, or in the case of Ari, decided to suicide and give him, give him a consolation kill. They did all get their. The items should be sufficient for one final push. You got the Rylai's, you got Guardian Angel on Aurelia. You got plenty of damage on Ezreal. He's got a BF Sword and the Last Whisper. Shyvana's pretty tanky too. You got the Warden's Mail, Aegis. This should be enough. This should be more than enough to take out that Baron and then do this final push.
I have to say, though, I am kind of surprised that Frauenlord picked the TF into the Ahri, because a lot of times, as I said in Champs, like, Ahri's considered kind of a counter to TF because of the mobility. You can just dive onto TF in the back line. They were able to get, or Curse was able to get Aurelia as well, so they have, and Shyvana, so that gave them that great initiation on the back line. You know, whereas if he had picked a safer, you know, mid, someone like Orianna, I don't know, this might be a different game. Maybe they can poke a little bit, they can, you know, keep themselves back. Frauenlord has to use the ultimate just to get back into base.
Damn.
But it's still a really dangerous spot. I think Leo from Korea is going to go down, though, and having a 4v5 is never a good thing when you're losing all 3 inhibitors.
Dashing onto the side to avoid the ultimate. Sona going to be going down first. Cotnex is ignited, struggling to get back to Fountain. Curve taking a huge chunk, and everyone, I think that's the 3rd time Ezreal's gotten a kill onto the Cho'Gath just using the ultimate. Frauenlord will not be able to get up the steps to the fountain. Anguish is fine, going to be reviving soon, and now all the super minions now pushing on into the Nexus. This is it. We are going to game 3, folks. Game 2, going to be going to Curse EU.
Really nice play from Curse EU. They were able to, I mean, we saw in the beginning of the game, they were a lot more mobile this game. They were, you know, running around the map. They were forcing fights against Alternate, not allowing Alternate to pull ahead, you know, like they did in game number 1. Alternate just had their way with Curse. And so that was kind of, you know, the game plan change that needed to happen early on. It worked out very well for them. But the interesting thing is they kept Ezreal out of those fights. So they wanted Ezreal to farm because they wanted to have consistency from him. They knew if they lost the fights and Ezreal wasn't farming, then, you know, that would be an easy loss